Welcome back to the channel. I'm Rochelle, and this is Brampton Gardener, and today is a summer garden tour. So we're gonna start right here on the porch, and these planters are looking kind of sad. They looked beautiful on Sunday last time I saw them, but today is now Thursday, and I hurt my foot Saturday night, and I was not putting any weight on it for a few days, and then we did have rain on and off, so I'm not sure if they got too much rain or not enough water. I don't know. Hopefully they will perk back up. But we have tomatoes there. This amaranth is getting beautifully nice and tall. It's probably a good 4 feet tall. And I've got some peppers in there. My stevia is doing amazing in this container. I need to harvest some of that. We got some peppers in here. These petunias are doing really good. They're so pretty. We got lots of different peppers coming on. We've got Dexter freaking out at the birds in the morning. I always forget about this planter. It's tucked over here. I do have a blue morning glory in it, and so when it blooms, it's absolutely beautiful. Right now, we don't have a bloom on that one. And I have a nope. What is it? And more peppers. So I have some anchos. I've got some red cherry. Okay, so this tower garden thing was looking absolutely amazing a couple days ago, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just, it feels kind of feels. It doesn't feel too wet. It feels moist. I don't know what happened to it. So either too much rain or not enough rain, right, Dex? Right? And then here is my tomato alley, which this is easily a quarter of growth that I normally would have at this time of year. This side's doing all right though. Got some tomatoes, all of my fall planting that I planted. They're sprouting and coming up and doing really well. This okra looks like it's going to put on some blooms soon. And then these poor tomatoes, I should put cages on them. They've grown so much just in the last few weeks. These are the ones that were the suckers that I pulled off and just stuck in these pots. Coming over here, I have a few really big tomatoes that some animal decided to eat. So, excuse me, sir. My Jewels of Opar is doing really well. My Malabar spinach looks like it put on some new growth. And this nasturtium is just beautiful. I love these. And look at the Jewels of Opar, like up close. These little berries. Oh, they're so pretty. Now this planter was looking bad 2 weeks ago with all the rain we had. And it's looking pretty bad. I will be cutting back all these petunias, all the stud growth here, and I will be saving seeds. I got lots of seeds to save. But here's my cucamelon, or what I thought was a cucamelon. Turns out, yeah, I got my seeds swapped, so I have a jelly melon. So I have one there. I do think I saw another baby in here, yeah. So I got a baby jelly melon there. So that's disappointing. I was hoping for cucamelon, but whatever. This is my loofah. It's blooming and it's growing, and I got a little one up there, but the other one that I'd had on it earlier died, so I don't know. It wasn't too happy. And containers that I got from the Dollar Tree, so they all have beans, and then in the top I have a nasturtium in the middle, so they're both the same, different beans but planted the same. And then I have my new raised bed, it's called, from Dollarama. Those are $4, and they hold quite a bit of soil. So I have 2 dwarf tomatoes, I have some nasturtiums, kale, and cucumber at the back. Now we have like these massive tomato plant that's got some downy mildew something on it. Every time I come out to spray it or do something, we got rain. So these are yellow. This is Sean's, I think. And then underneath this are my beans in my planters, which have done really well. This is the Kaleidoscope Jewel, and all my beans and my cucumber. Maybe it's a foot now, I'm not sure. But honestly, this is one of my favorite views. Excuse me, Dex. We're gonna back up and savor the view. So it's this one here coming out of the arbor. And honestly, you know what? I'll post pictures from last year and the year before. Normally you can't see this metal on this arbor at all. It's normally covered in vines. I don't know what happened. I think I pulled out too many of the morning glories this year in anticipation that these other vines would do something, and they didn't. So that's on me. And now we're coming out. So this is the veggie patch over here on the left. These are more beans down here in this section. And this is my garden huckleberry that is like 3 times bigger than any of the others. So I'm going to be sending my daughter out to harvest these dark ones. You want to harvest them once they go matte. So if they're still shiny, just leave them. They're not quite done yet. So my straw flowers are just about to bloom. So up here there's straw flowers. There's a canna that looks like it's been eaten. Yep, something's eating my canna. There's a ton of morning glory here that's going to fill in. Poppies, petunias. My sweet William is just starting to bloom. And then this is just a tangled menagerie of vines and self-seeded plants, and I love it. Love it. So this, I did not plant any of these morning glories. These morning glories have all taken over. I have a tomato cage in here that they've climbed up on. My okra, it's coming along. Another Malabar spinach that hasn't done squat. My onions, hopefully they're not rotting from all this rain we've had, but they seem to be doing fine. Then I have my lemon thyme. And oh, look at these 4 o'clocks. Just gorgeous. I love these flowers. They're so pretty. What else do we have going on here? We got some vines. Sorry, the sun is coming up. Petunias are doing okay in that planter, but the morning glories are doing a lot better. Then we've got my hibiscus, the one that I divided. Hey, you're not allowed on there. And then the other one I transplanted is stuck over there, but it's doing pretty good. I'm hoping to see maybe a bloom or two. We'll see. My cannas are really starting to take off now, so that's great. And the rest of the stuff is just, it's really starting to fill in. It's finally starting to get a bit more of that lush feeling that I was going for. Lots of snapdragons in here with lots of new buds coming. I'm gonna have to come in here and prune some of these. I was planning on making a bouquet on Sunday morning. So Saturday I fertilized everything and I went in and I did a bunch of deadheading, and I was like, you know what, first thing in the morning I'm gonna come out, cut some fresh flowers and make a bouquet. And Saturday night is when I hurt my foot. And honestly, walking on this hill is very painful. So I'm going to be taking it very easy, and it's going to be a very slow walk up the hill. So with my Rebecca, which is kind of outlined by the, and you'll see why. Dexter, come on. My Rebecca, oh my God, get out. We have my cherry brandy Rebecca, which is finally blooming. And I won't be stepping in the beds like I normally do, because that's a no-go this morning. So it's a few different varieties and colors in that package of the cherry brandy Rebecca. This one just kept getting eaten down. This is a self-seeded garden huckleberry. I had a lot of those. I pulled a ton of them out. Here's a self-seeded ground cherry, which is starting to shade out my lantana. Yeah. And then I got some sunflowers coming, which is really exciting because normally they don't get this far along. Hoping to save seed off of this one. Normally by now I used to have them down there by the fence, and squirrels would come along and steal the heads off before they even really got to bloom. This year I had them out in the garden and I haven't had that problem. And oh my gosh, okay, this is exciting. I haven't been out in the garden in like 4 or 5 days. So I'm seeing some new stuff, some new growth, especially on that amaranth is getting really big. But this is my Gwem. So it is a perennial seed that I bought last year, and I did a winter sowing and only one germinated, and here it is. It's got a white bloom on it, so I'm really excited to see how that's going to look when it blooms. And my celosia. So I grew some celosia from seed, and this is the first one that's blooming. Look how pretty that is. Oh, that's going to be just absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to get seeds off of this for next year. This section is not doing so great. I did harvest a bunch of tomatoes the other day, so they're doing okay. Not super pretty though. My other, I can never remember the name of it, black-eyed Susan vine is growing on that. No blooms. My birdhouse gourds, not doing great. I don't know. That one, I had a baby on it. I thought it was going to make it, and nope. This one's got a lot more babies. I don't think anything was getting pollinated up here. I guess there was just nothing else up here to attract the pollinators. So next time, maybe I'll put some morning glories up with it. That might help. And some amaranth cannas. Those peppers, mystery peppers. I have no idea what they are. But I think I do know what this one is. I think this is my ahi. Look at that. I hadn't even seen any pepper. Oh my, what eats a hot pepper? What? Okay. So this one's fine though. That's exciting. Okay. Very nice. I had so many mystery peppers. I didn't know what that was going to be. That's really exciting. Yay. Okay. And then we're going to come around to this side. And I've got some, something startled the pug. Oh, hey Dex. What are you doing? And then over here I have some more calendula that I planted, and some hollyhocks, and some canna lilies. So I did come in and I cut every single bloom on my calendula Saturday. Hey, no. Stay down. I cut every single bloom on my calendula Saturday, and I deadheaded every single seed head like this. So there was nothing on it Saturday night. So these are all brand new blooms, and they look absolutely beautiful. So there should be something there to cut for a flower bouquet. My sedum is starting to get some color on it, which means that fall is coming soon, unfortunately. I got lots of amaranth in here. This is a nice tall one back here. And okay, I gotta go backwards down the hill. This hurts my foot. Okay, here we go. Slowly. Beep, beep, beep. The one thing I didn't get a chance to do the other day that I wanted to was to cut back my Shasta daisies, because I do know if you cut them back, I should have gotten another flush. I was going to come back out to get my pruners after I deadheaded everything else, because I just did that by hand. I was going to come back with my pruners, and I got interrupted with a phone call, and I never made it out, and then I hurt my foot, and it never happened. And I gotta get seeds off of this before all the birds eat them all. But yeah, so then I have most everything in this bed was self-seeded except for the sunflowers, which I tucked in. That one's like leaning down, and some of the zinnias that I just kind of sprinkled. I planted some that I grew from seed, and then I just sprinkled some seeds in as well later on. And oh my goodness, these stupid tomato plants, I pulled so many of them out. They are determined to keep growing. So these are the tiny like spoon tomatoes, and look at, they've ripened up. That's funny. I had so many of these that I threw out. I just pulled, and they just keep sprouting. So here's my kohlrabi. It's coming along. It's hard to tell in the picture, but I would guess it's about the size of a golf ball right now. That one's a lot smaller. I guess it's not getting enough sunlight over there. But yeah, I planted those in the spring, and they still haven't done their thing yet. Here is my new hibiscus that I planted, and you can see she has tons of blooms coming. Tons of blooms. I'm so excited. And then a ton more blooms on this calendula as well. Oh, my evening primrose, which is self-seeded, because I would never have planted it right there on the border, but it's doing really good. My coneflower is starting to fade out a bit, but it's been really beautiful to just come and sit out on the deck and relax and look at all the beautiful flowers. And then I'm going to spin around. This time of year is really all about the 4 o'clocks in the morning. They're so pretty. The 4 o'clocks and the morning glories. So I have 2 different colors here. These are kind of a pinky peachy color, which is absolutely beautiful. And then this is like a magenta purpley, I don't know. Very, very pretty, both of them. So I do see a seed in here. Here, let's give Dex this tomato. Dex, one tomato? What do you think of the tiny tomatoes? You've never had one of these. Yeah. Oh, yeah, still gotta play with it. All right. So I'm gonna show you the seeds on these. They're super cool, and they're super easy to harvest. So they're just sitting here in these little pods like that. That's the seed. So you just want to go in like this, and they're loose in there, so be careful because they will fall to the ground like that. Oops. And they self-seed prolifically. So let me grab this one again. Try this with one hand because they're loose. They're just barely sitting in that little pot. There we go. Try not to drop it. And they're the coolest little seeds. I think they look like little mini Barbie grenades. They're very bouncy. But see how they just sit? They're just sitting loosely in there. So there we go. So you can harvest them very easily, or you can just let them fall and then they will reseed next year. Looks like I might be getting a white one here. Last year I had pink and white, but I can't remember if it was that pink or this pink, because I collected some pink seeds off of someone else's that I saw and I was like, ooh, that's not the same shade of pink I have. And it's beautiful. Then I have some beans in here. Gotta come harvesting some beans. Oh my goodness. That's what happens when you're not in the garden for a few days. Oh. And my bells of Ireland. So they did self-seed, like I said, but they haven't done much. So this is pretty much, I mean, they've been blooming, but they haven't really got any bigger, and none of the other little seedlings that I transplanted did very well either. So I don't know if they just didn't get enough heat or what. I would think bells of Ireland wouldn't need a ton of heat, but what do I know? Then we got some seed heads. So this was that really, really pretty kind of pinky colored one that I just showed in my last video. So I will definitely be saving seeds off that when it's ready. And here's my Chorbinski, I'm not even going to try, pepper. It is getting nice and long, and this one's just starting. Hey Dex. Yes. Hey buddy. Oops. Out. And then I have a bunch of those little sunflowers coming up. So those seeds did really good, and then some of these are the new beans that I had just planted. I forgot to mention this little planter. Let me weed it first. Pay no attention. Hi Dex. Yes, I know you have to be in every shot, right? So this is the Diplodenia that I rescued last year that was almost dead at the store. I brought it back from near death like 3 or 4 times. I almost killed it. And it's doing okay, but it didn't bloom at all this year, so I don't know. This moss rose though is doing amazing. It's full of these pink blooms. They're so pretty. What are you eating? What are you eating? Okay, and then, oh, these are splitting. Crap. I didn't get out here in time. But these are the tomatoes everyone was asking about the other day. These are the Tasmanian. Nope. These are the leprechaun. But they split and they're just sitting there. Ugh, oozing grossness from the rain. That's unfortunate. I'm going to turn around, and these planters are catching the sun right now. So these are the ones I did in my planters, and they're actually doing really well. The ground cover took. Sometimes you never know when you just shove it in when there's no roots or whatever how it's going to do, but it took. It's doing really well. The petunia is doing fine in here. Look at that lemon balm. It's really taking off back there. These amaranth are doing good. Even the canna is getting nice and big. We got the petunia still blooming in there, and some of the sweet alyssum. This planter, you can see right there, my cilantro. It rooted and it is doing amazing. Never going to try and grow cilantro from seed again. I will just grab some at the store and root it and throw it in for the season. I'll try and back up and get a better shot of this. And what are you eating? Dexter's toys. You didn't clean out your toys for the video. So lots of cannas going on in this section, which I love. The hanging baskets. That one's not doing too great, but it was so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna go check out the neighbor's stuff over here real quick. Oh, moment of zoomies. Oh, and a jump. Oh, ow. No jumping. No jumping. Nope. You're going to knock me over. Absolutely not. Stop. So we have this magnificent planter. Hey, shh. Apparently someone wants to, ow! No! Stop it. Stop. Okay, quickly. This planter, it's doing great before I get attacked. Looks like it might need some water though. So I know I have, this is the ahi in here as well. This one's getting nice and big. I don't know, how big are they supposed to be when you pick them? I don't know. And then we've got some other, oh, this could be a red cherry maybe. Yeah, this planter's dry. It's so weird when the rain comes. You just never know, depending on the direction the rain comes, what planters are going to get wet and what aren't. And this, I think these are so cool here. Excuse me, Dad. These are the seed pods of the canna lily. And what's going to happen is they're going to go black, dry out, and pop open. And inside are these cute little round black seeds. So if I have enough of them and I don't need to save all the seeds, I love putting those in flower bouquets too. Or you put them in like that, and then they go like that. So pretty. You good, Dex? And then this little section over here at my neighbor's has done really, really well. It is going crazy. I have harvested a ton of tomatoes off of this plant. And oh my gosh, there's even a ton more tomatoes in there. This is like, oh my gosh, it's loaded down. Wow. Wow, look what happens when you don't come out for a week. Oop, we got some rotting tomatoes in there. That's gross. But plenty to harvest in here. We got a poor amaranth that's getting completely smashed. These are all getting smashed. And yes, people, yes, that is my broccoli. And I think it looks like it's kind of, I don't know what it's doing. Is it bolting? Is it? I've never grown broccoli before, but it broccolied. We got broccoli. We got broccoli, right, Dex? We got broccoli. And then down here, these are doing really good, tucked in the shade even. I have some of these ornamental chili peppers, bird's eye peppers, whatever you want to call them. But I think the star of the show here is definitely the morning glories. And it's funny because I just dug them up from my yard and put them over here, and I got all the same color. There's one on the end there that's a dark purple, but the rest are all this shade of pink, and they're so pretty. They're just climbing up. This planter, it's got a lot of grass in it, and a weed amaranth. But this is the canna lily I got at Costco, and that's all it's done. And this gets a ton of sun here, so I don't know. No. We don't eat cannas. No. Costco bulbs I got this year, they were all, none of them did very well. The cannas didn't do very well. And then the package of the, was it caladium and elephant ears? They died. Like, dead. Dong. So, I don't know. This broccoli hasn't decided what it's going to do yet. So, we'll just leave it to its own devices. But, this broccoli is doing much better. A much more formed head, but it's starting to sprout, I think. All the little blooms are starting to open up, so maybe I waited too long. I don't know. But I'm just really excited that they actually bloomed. I did those in the winter sowing containers, so that's cool. Who's a pretty boy? Who's a pretty boy? Hi, sweetheart. Who's a pretty boy? They aren't going to stay too long. Once the heat hits them, they're going to probably die back. And by then we will have like giant petunias taking over, so that won't be a problem. So I'm happy with it. I hope the cannas aren't too big and won't be too hard to get out of the pot in the fall, but we shall see. So these planters out front are finally starting to fill in and do their thing. So happy with how this one has turned out. So pretty. These cannas, I absolutely love them. Next year, I have learned I will put a couple more petunias in. That sweet potato vine is so happy there. Actually, pruned a little bit of it off for my other planter. Is my second planter, and I have this beautiful caladium. So I picked this out because I fell in love with the color. I don't know, like the leaves are different. I don't know if it's just as the age or depending on how much sun it gets, so we shall see. But yeah, I didn't realize it was so hard to color match. It doesn't look good with some of those other things. So 2 impatiens I grew from seed, all the lobelia in the back, the one little begonia. And then this one is just amazing. It is really filled out. It is so happy in the container. I have to make sure that I go in and save seeds off of this impatient. So everything in here I grew from seed except for these little begonias here on the side and the caladium, but I will be saving that caladium. And I think I'll be trying to save the begonias. So if anyone has ever saved their begonias and overwintered them dry, like not in the house, because you can buy like the tubers, you can buy the little bulbs. I saw them at Walmart. They had little bulbs of begonias you can buy. So I figured I should be able to save mine just like I would the caladium. So if anyone has ever done that, please, please, please drop a link in the description below or comment below and say, hey, I have a video on that. I will go watch it for sure. So let's see, do we have any seeds here that are ready? Because these are super cool. When you when they're ready, when the seed pods are ready and you just kind of squish them a little bit, they will pop open in your hand. So you have to be careful. You have to be ready. So let's turn this like this. I will pop up on the screen how it looked when I planted it out because it was just very small. But this impatient is just gorgeous. I'm super happy with this one. I don't see any seed pods ready to go yet, but when I do, I will film that. But I think there's I don't know how many impatiens are there, 2 or 3? I'll have to go back and look at the original video when I planted it. And then this side, like it's coming all the way around here. And then we have these cute little begonias, which are super happy in here. And some, oh, look at I think caladium leaves or babies are so cute, little baby leaves. And then I didn't have a lot of luck with my lobelia doing too well, but this one has done great. And then the upper planter, I actually did prune a bit because it had some really long flower spikes coming up and off of it. So I did prune that down a bit, and I used it for my front planter, which you will see in a different video. So I'm not going to be showing the very front garden because that's a whole nother video. And yeah, so it's doing really well. It's mainly coleus, and then some begonias are tucked underneath, but you can hardly see them now. And then this little planter up here is looking pretty sweet, I think. So we have the 2 nasturtiums, the pansies. I put 2 little ginger in, a couple lobelia, the amaryllis, and 2 coleus. So we'll see how that fills in. Next year, I think I will definitely do more of a variety of colors with the coleus, but it's really nice and bright in that kind of a dark space there. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed a little before and after shots of the garden tour. I will be posting links right at the end of this video to the other 2 videos that I kind of took clips from in this one. One was the June walkthrough, and the other was planting up my front container. So I hope to see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.